Yes, good evening, good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, London. Yes, good evening, United Kingdom. Good evening, Europe. Good evening, United States. Good evening, world. Yes, you are welcome to another great stream. Yes, another great stream coming directly all the way to you live from the dispatch box from this end. I hope I meet you all well, in top form and in good spirit. Yes, I think to my left here I can see Patrick Omebu. Welcome to the stream. You are watching the stream on HALLO magazine newsfeed, and although not commenting, I can spot you too. Shoboki, you're welcome to the stream. Although you're not commenting, but I see you. How is everybody at Trinity Chapel today? Discovery Center, Unique Church. And how is Pastor Yemitu? I hope everybody is in top form with Shufi. Thank you, guys. And right in the chat room, I can see you, Daranijo Juwon. Good day. I know you are based in Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, you are. Fantastic. How is the United States? Chancellor Fumi Ademiloa, CFA. I sincerely hope that you're back in town. Yeah, I saw all those pictures of your prayers. Adura Bubua Agbano. Solomon Olusheye Obigbeson, good evening. And I can equally spot Alaja Lola there, James Coker. I can spot you. No comment. I won't be able to spot you, although I will see you. But then and again, I'll acknowledge those that I feel their lives not at risk. James Coker, you said you are driving, but you will follow. Yes, exactly. Just make sure you concentrate on the highway and on the road as you enjoy the stream. Episode 172 of The Bleeding Edge is exactly what we want to treat today. This great Sunday afternoon, live from the United Kingdom, from London. Yes, it is Sunday, the 15th day of the 5th month of May, 2022. And obviously the time currently from where we are, the center of the world, up in the northern hemisphere, is exactly 17:45 GMT. Welcome to episode 172 of the same series that we ignited last year, The Bleeding Edge. Thank you, guys. Yeti Queen, you're welcome. Thank you, Darani Jujuwon. You said in Atlanta, Georgia, it is 12:45. Thanks for feeding us in from your geographical location, and that will tally with the time the broadcast is made. May I notify each and every one of you that I can clearly confirm to you that Facebook, not YouTube, Facebook, they've disabled many of our avid viewers because of that nasty piece of contraption called Nigeria. So what you have to do is go back onto your page and then click the like button and then following once again. Osaro Benjamin, good evening. You said the time is 6:45 p.m. from Denmark in the Scandinavia. You see, I'm live in London. People are watching the stream all over the whole world. This is the beauty of technology at its best. Let me first of all make it known to you. I announced to you before we begin to dig deep and deeper into the stream. From YouTube, many of you must have observed that I've changed brand. It is still under the umbrella, the whole show and the entire broadcast still under the same banner of Liberty Media Communications. The only difference now is that I've actually separated the parent company from the sister broadcasting outfit and the e-magazine outfit. So now you can clearly see, those of you watching from the Liberty Media Communications newsfeed, you'll now see it's changed name to New Media TV. NUMEDIA TV. And it is the same on YouTube. The only difference is that I've managed to brand the corporate brand on Facebook. After the show, I'm pretty sure I'm going to carry on with the YouTube brand. Yeah, I've got all the templates, so it's just a matter of swapping everything around so that the two brands are together, and people can actually, when they see it on YouTube and on Facebook, they know exactly, oh, this is coming from the same feed. So New Media is now the new outfit from Liberty Media Communications. Many of you that are still hooked onto it, you don't have to do anything because you'll still be getting the same alert. It's the same. Now on YouTube, if you haven't done so, or if this is your first time coming onto the live stream, please like the page, subscribe to the page, and then click the bell icon. And on Facebook, depending on which of the pages you're watching it, like the page and then follow. We don't ask for, from my page, we don't ask for donation, and my page, both on YouTube and on Facebook, is not commercial. I'm not making any money out of it, unlike others. No, I don't want to make any money out of it, but I just want to educate and I want to enlighten people that are in darkness. This is my gospel. Episode 172 of The Bleeding Edge is exactly what we want to talk about. I've got couple of stuff lined up for you. And I'm going to start from this presentation. Yes, we dissect things in a big way, very big way, from the dispatch box here. And as we do that, so also we buttress our arguments with loads and loads of proofs. And those proofs, that's exactly what they cannot challenge. The powers that be, they find it difficult to challenge that. Now, you remember this. The last time, Nigeria's socio-economic class system came up with that. You've only got 3 different layers of class system in that stupid, nasty piece of a contraption called Nigeria. And the 3 layers are, you are either a multi-billionaire that you can afford to fly your own private jets, or you are a middle class Nigeria that the high class use as the class that they pass on just a tiny bit of the wealth they've looted from the country down to them. Perhaps, few of them bankers and the rest of them that will keep their interest going in a nasty piece of a contraption called Nigeria. Now, make no mistakes, this is not just only Nigeria. It is a cross-border line across all black African countries. Make no mistakes. In fact, let me say, the whole of Africa stinks of this ridiculous circumstances. And then the peanut, I won't say peanut, I'll say the tokens passed downstairs to the middle class, then the middle class then passed down crumbs of that to the bumper ras class. Now, this bumper ras class in that shithole called Nigeria. Now, before I do anything, before we begin to go a little bit deeper and deeper into that, now this man, the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo, may his soul rest in peace, made so many quotes. You see, we cannot say anything today because the news of yesteryears are now history today. So also everything that is happening today will be history tomorrow. Now, the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo first was the very first person to identify in 1947 that the shithole called Nigeria is not a nation. It is a mere geographical expression, and that there are no Nigerian. Underscore that there are no Nigerian in the same way as there are English, Welsh, or French. No. Look throughout the entire United Kingdom. They speak English, even though the Welsh, they've got their own language. The Scottish, they've got their own assembly. The Welsh, they've got their own assembly. And they've got all their ministers. Welsh minister, Scottish minister, who acts like a mini prime minister, but under the British prime minister. The word Nigerian is merely a distinctive appellation. Description, to distinguish. Appellation means description, to distinguish those who live within the boundaries of Nigeria and those who do not. Nigeria, not a nation, mere geographical expression. Put this behind your brain, because we're going to dig something out of this quote in 1947 by the late sage. This one. Nigeria is not a nation. No, it's not that one. Sorry about that. We've treated that one. Yeah, I need this number 2. I brought that file in twice. Now, the Baba said, the late sage, after rain comes sunshine. After darkness comes the glorious dawn. There is no sorrow without its alloy of joy. After rain comes sunshine. And it is true. After rain, don't kaput everywhere, destroy everywhere. God, in his infinite goodness and mercy, the man who knows all, who knows what is good, the man who knows why there is rain and why there is sun, for photosynthesis to take place so that we can all thrive on the planet. After rain comes sunshine. After darkness comes the glorious dawn. There is no sorrow without its alloy of joy. There is no joy without its admixture of sorrow. Behind the ugly, terrible mask of misfortune lies the beautiful, soothing countenance of prosperity. And then he said what? So tear the mask. Collectively. This time around, we have to tear that mask called Nigeria down to its pieces. Nigeria will no longer exist in the next 2 to 3 years. If possible, next year. There won't be no Nigeria with the rate things are currently going. With the rate Deborah was killed. With the rate at which they killed Tolulope Arotile. With the rate at which Pa Fashonauti's daughter was killed. With the rate innocent people were kidnapped by bandits and slaughtered like rams, and they are hopeless, useless Malu. Let me bring in the next slide. I've done number 5. Slide number 5. Again, Awolowo said, I do not want the children of my drivers to be drivers to my children. Neither do I want the children of my cooks to be cooks to my children. Nevertheless, I want free access to education for all. We're coming back here. Very big, huge, mighty statement. Perhaps many of you are seeing all these statements that I've showcased time after time for the first time. See, because you know the reason why black people perish for knowledge. And that's why many of you depended so much on your pastors and your imams. And in the process, you are indoctrinated because you have failed totally in your quest to seek knowledge. And you will continue to perish so long as you depend on people that will read something on your behalf, and you never bothered investigating and questioning what they are telling you. That you have to take everything that they have to say to you, and then they begin to twist the Holy Bible upside down. They begin to twist the Holy Quran upside down for you. It is because you are black. And the white man says the easiest way to keep any secret away from the black man is to put it in a book. They'll never find out where it is kept. That's why the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Knowledge is wealth. I do not want the children of my drivers to be drivers to my children. Neither do I want the children of my cooks to be cooks to my children. Nevertheless, I want free access to education for all. I'm coming back there. And here, the Baba says, in his lifetime, the children of the poor you failed to train will never let your children have peace. The great legend. Said that to a nasty piece of a nation called Nigeria. Alaji Aremu Usholade Alakufo. Evening to you. Yes. Did you get a grip of that last bit? The children of the poor you failed to train will never let your children have peace. Now, in fact, let me bring it back in so that you can clearly see that right in front of your screen. Now, based on what you are looking right in front of your screen, the children of the poor you failed to train will never let your children have peace. Now, when I came round and I made it known to you that for me, the blame game for a complete decapitation of Nigeria started all the way from Gowon. I personally will never, did you hear this? From your number 4. The bane of our problem started from that moment under Gowon's regime, from the first day of August 1966, when he was selected to rule the country, till the last moment he was, guess what? At the OAU summit, when his government was toppled by another Fulani man, a northerner, 29th day of July 1975. Gowon was the man that broke Nigeria down into pieces, remember, into 12 states from the original 4 regions: Western region, Midwest, Eastern region, and Northern region. The civil war was fought under him. He refused, despite the fact that the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo was his commissioner for finance, who he released to come help fight the civil war. And after the civil war, information that I researched personally indicated the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo begged Gowon to please educate the Nigerian children. Perhaps Perhaps that was one of the reasons Chief Awolowo came with that quote, that the children of the poor you failed to train will never let your children have peace. Many of you perhaps did not realize Chief Awolowo begged go on to educate Nigerian children. Now, based on what you are looking currently in front of your screen, now consider the spate of kidnappings and banditry all over the shithole country called Nigeria. The spate of kidnappings and banditry all over the country has become the most pertinent and worrisome issue in Nigeria now. And it has fast become an industry for illicit and easy money, taking along with it, I repeat, taking along with it thousands and thousands of innocent lives from both Odua land, from Igbo land, from Tif land, and from Hausa land as well. The children of the poor you fail to train will never let your children have peace. Other countries of the world, I repeat, other countries of the world continue to invest heavily in the education of their children. Now consider China. I said consider China. In the 80s, China was an Olushi country. I don't want to say it in English. China was an Olushi country in the 80s. But throughout the communist period, what China has done was to lock up all its boundaries and continue to send right all the way from the late 60s, early 70s, their children to be educated in Ivy League institutions of the world, in the UK, in Europe, in America. China invested heavily in education for its children. And the moment they finished their studies, they take him back to China. They don't stay. Those children of the late 60s, early 70s, the 80s were the ones that built China. And what made China a great nation today? The Chinese language. That's why they are great. And they are now a superpower. See, the free education that the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo invested on when he was premier of the Western region produced fruitful results that in the history of publishing management free education policy. I can honestly tell you because I read about it in publishing history. It is right inside the history of publishing. It was a world class. And those moments were the moments you find big multi-million pounds multinational publishing companies such as Macmillan's, Evans, investing in the publishing industry in Nigeria. And then other local indigenous publishing companies such as Onibonje Publishers, Fagbamigbe Publishers, equally were producing local textbooks for local authors in a language fashioned to educate the Nigerian children. I know about this because many of you don't know about this history, because I studied publishing management, and that's communication, and that is the peak end of mass communication, the very top echelon of it. I was chatting with someone. I know of many people who enrolled on my course at the same prestigious London College of Printing. They withdrew. Competent people. And the moment they heard, oh, Frank, you went through it and you got a BA honors in publishing management, wow, you're a genius. And not only that, I was one of the finest because I was a George Goodman's Award recipient. Top award to ever come out of that prestigious institution. I was a recipient. I'm saying this so that people can check out my background and my history, because anytime I stream or anytime I tell you things, they are not just fiction, but they are facts that's been well researched, investigated, and then published. We call that RIP. Some people will say raster image processor. No. The free educational program the late sage carried out in the old Western region was a world class. Many of you don't know. The free educational program that the UPN equally carried out in 1979 in all the UPN controlled states were equally world class, just like the AG's period in the 50s and the 60s. So how come the late sage had foresight to education and all the rest of those Damboroba Shegebutubu Benzani leaders pay leap attention to it? They not care. They're not bothered. They're not. There's a lot that many of you don't know. There's a lot. When I say to you, I'm really angry, that many of you don't know the reasons why I am angry at that shithole called Nigeria. And I promised myself never to set my foot in that shithole country anymore. I don't want anything to do with Nigeria. My passion for it, thinking it will work, faded away completely. And perhaps those days when I used to hold on to the fact that it can be salvaged, it's gone. You cannot redeem a country or a continent that is shithole. Nigeria is shithole. Black African continent is shithole. Definitely. Taiwo Suffolk. The beneficiaries of the free education are now the ones against the freedom of Yoruba land. You are absolutely correct. 100% accurate. Correct. Imagine if MKO Abiola was a beneficiary of a scholarship award under the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo. MKO Abiola, same age as Obasanjo, beneficiary. What happened to Obasanjo? What happened to Abiola and Chief Obafemi Awolowo? Abiola betrayed Chief Obafemi Awolowo only to work against the hands that fed him and then pitch his tent with Damboro Bashege Mutumu Banzani Fulanis. You heard. I'm going to prove. Yeah, that's why, you see. In fact, you know what I wanted to actually block out Nigeria from my stream, getting to Nigeria, and I want to leave it for the rest of the world. Maybe after this show, I'm going to go back onto my private settings, and I want to show them that they're not smart. I am even going to block that shithole called Nigeria out completely, so anyone who wants to actually send it to someone can just probably tag someone. But for them to watch my show directly from Nigeria, henceforth after this show, I'm going to block that nation, that shithole country called Nigeria. That is how bitter I am. I'm sorry, those of you who are my Nigerian viewers. From Facebook, you might not be able to watch it. On YouTube, yes, you'll be able to watch it on YouTube. The stream. I'll make that exception. So before they take actions against me, I will take actions against them. You heard. Yeah, you can imagine Taiwo Suffolk. MKO Abiola was a beneficiary of a scholarship that got him educated as an accountant in Glasgow, in Scotland. So when you look at that, who is Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Perhaps Bola Ahmed Tinubu was not smart and intelligent as MKO Abiola, because we're not too sure of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's educational qualifications. We're not too sure of the schools Bola Ahmed Tinubu attended. We're not too sure of what he's done. All we keep getting is all these narcotics suit against him in the United States, to which his wife, to Oluremi Tinubu, we're accomplice. I've got all those documents and evidence. Let me make this special announcement to each and every one of you towards the tail end of the show. I'm going to do something for you today. Get yourselves some pen and paper. You will need your pen and paper, because towards the tail end of this stream, I'm going to give you the telephone numbers of all those politicians that you should start calling as from today. Did you hear that? Their personal numbers. Get yourselves papers, because I'll be giving their numbers out to you, because many of you will need those numbers. You see, because you are here. This is the beauty of it. All of you that you are abroad, pick the phone and call them. You will pick your phone and you will call all of them. Yes, I have it. All their numbers. They're all here. So get yourselves pen ready, because this is serious business. I'm not going to lie to you. It is. Yeah, I'm trying to get through to where I kept them. And here we are. Yes, I've got that out into the open. Yes, you will have the direct numbers to all those who call themselves big men in your political arena. Give them a call. And that is towards the tail end of the broadcast. So maybe some other people might be interested in those numbers. You can call them for whatever reasons. You can call them and tell them you want to book appointments to see them, because they are your legislators, and that you want to raise your personal issues concerning governance with them. Yes. Now, I've got a couple of tapes as well that I've lined up for you. Let me see where I'm going to start. First of all, let me see where to start. Okay. Let me, how should I start from this man? Okay. Yeah, I think I need to actually get this back up again. This one. Let's start from there so that you guys can see the way they destroyed education. Remember, the children of the poor you fail to train will never let your children have peace. Let's begin to dig deep now. Let me bring in this particular one, first of all, because we want to deal with education. Education. So let's, I saw this here. And don't forget, we're still coming back to Deborah Yakubu, who was killed in Sokoto. Watch this.
All right. This is 9:09, and this time we expect all pupils of primary school, secondary school, and other institutions should be in their school. Well, my name is Yunusa Gabriel Edemali, and my community report today is coming all the way from LGEA Ukolojogene. Is in the Kina local government, Aniba ward. Now, I'm going to unveil something that will touch your heart wherever you are. And the reason why we're doing this, we need to bring you up to speed to understand what is happening. Now, come with me. Now, this is primary 1. As I speak with you, it is combined with primary 1 and 2 because their little hut where they stay has primary 2 has been fallen down by a breeze. Look at it there. Now, come back. Now you can see these are the leaders of tomorrow. Well, according to them, move closer. Let them see their faces. These are supposed to be the leaders of tomorrow. In this community, there is nothing like infrastructure here. No social amenities at all. Now, it is so pathetic. Look at their board. This is their board. Now, I move with him. He comes with me. Come with me. Come with me. Now, this is supposed to be class 2. But today, it's already down. Now, show me camera. This is supposed to be class 2. This class 2 is now combined with class 1. And that is why you have a mixed class. Now, I am told that they have class 1.
This is Yaya Bello's state. The man who wants to contest for presidency,
What you're going to hear.
who wants to be your president.
And they are being paid by Subel. Now, tell me, how can this teacher cope? He has family. He has children. Now, the salary being paid him is on the so-called percentage salary. Now, here is primary 3. This primary 3 is also combined with primary 4. Am I correct? Okay, this is just primary 3 alone. You can see that. Now, tell me, what leader of tomorrow are you going to make out of these people? As far as they're concerned, nothing like computer that they would have ever seen in their life. Now, come with me. I'm going to show you. Now, as you come this way, this is the class, and this is class 4 or 5. All right, this is class 4 and class 5. Now, you can see the shanty where they stay, and they teach them. This is in the Kina local government, in Kogi State, in Nigeria. Now, I'm coming back to tell you what even the Sustainable Development Goal says about education. Now, we need to begin to think very, very well, or else we're going to be in trouble. Now, come with me again. This is class 6. Now, I have this as class 6. Okay. Now, tell me, some of them don't even come to school. Why would they come to school? They are not encouraged. The teachers are not encouraged. The parents are not encouraged. Now, getting to this place, I had to use this Okada. It is not motorable. It is actually so difficult. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now, this is it. This is LGEA Ukolojogene in the Kina local government, like I've said before, and this primary school has class 1 to 6. And the number of people, this is a primary school in 2022. Some of them don't even come to school because primary school in 2022. And nobody encourages 62 years after independence. They have ever seen no light, no infrastructure, nothing. Now they only have 2 teachers. The teachers are being paid by State Universal Basic Education Board. They call it SUBED in Lokoja, and their salary is in percentage. This is absolutely absurd. It is uncalled for. Now, the reason why we need to do this as part of our community report, we need you to come to the aid of this community. NGO, spirited human beings, wherever you are, if you are touched, ask yourself, would you allow your children to come to this kind of a school? The answer is no. Now, let's go back to what the first 6 SDG points, that is the 17, the first 6 out of 17. Now, the first one says poverty. Tell me, what are you expecting from these people? Is it not poverty? Now, number 2 says hunger. This is hunger staring at them. Number 3, good health and well-being. In this community, there is nothing like health center here. Now, if they are sick, they need to travel on Okada from here to Anibak, which is about 20 kilometers by over 20 kilometers.
Did you hear that?
And the road is extremely bad. Now tell me, there is no water here. There's a stream down here. That is where they drink from. Now, number 4.
See, now you can see a child drinking from a stream, dirty water.
In this modern age and time, man, there is a lot of things gone wrong with us. Whatever it is, we need to wake up, or else our future and their future will be doomed. Number 5 says gender equality. Look, at most of them here are male. Well, the female ones here are here. They're trying to also cope amongst their male counterpart. Now, the 6th one says clean water and sanitation. This is extremely worrisome, and I want to expect every one of us to wake up now, or else we will be doomed. The future of these children lies on us. Wherever you are, an NGO, your spirited field. The last time I brought you a story from Akwelu. Today I am in Ukolojo Geni in the Kina local government. It's just about 25 kilometers, minutes ride on Okada from Aniwa. Well, it's pathetic, and I need somebody to do it. This is my community report from Ukolojo Geni, and something urgently needs to be done. You can see that.
And something urgently needed to be done. Akogun David Hamilton, even though you're not commenting, I can peep you there. I see you. Abiyo Omotumbis too. I see you, even though you're not commenting. Welcome to the stream. Episode 172 of The Bleeding Edge is exactly what we are treating today. The children of the poor you fail to train will never let your children have peace. The words by the late sage. Now, the late sage, was he right? And what was really going through his mind at the time when that statement was made? Could that mean the late sage told this man that was his picture as a military junta at the time, Yakubu Gowon, who I believe is the pain of the problem, because the problem of Nigeria started from him. Gowon, the root cause of Nigeria's problem, who failed woefully, not only him, to train those children today. Those children of the period he was a military junta, to which the late sage was advising him to train, invest in education, because he had I don't care attitude towards education. The children of those children that Gowon refused to train are the ones that killed Deborah in Sokoto College of Education, Shehu Shagari College of Education in Sokoto. The same children that this man refused to train, to which they've produced millions of almanjiris, are the ones that refuse to obey the curfew that even their own governor, Aminu Tambuwa, imposed. They failed to obey it. Not just only this man. That should be held responsible for a complete collapse of our educational system. The rest of them here are all responsible for it. Obasanjo as military junta was responsible for it. Shehu Shagari was responsible. Buhari in his first term was responsible. Babangida was responsible. Shonekon, Abacha, Abdusalam, even Obasanjo coming back as a imposed, elected democratic leader was responsible. The only person that tried to make amend was Umaru Yar'Adua. And that was because Umaru Yar'Adua knew the value of education, because before he was a teacher in chemistry at the Queen's College in Lagos. Many of you don't know. Yes, you're hearing this. Umaru Yar'Adua taught chemistry at the Queen's College, Lagos. Very humble man. He was the only person, I'll give the credit, who pumped money into education, basically, and was very strict. The same way he was very strict and very open to the Niger Delta militants. The rest, shithole. Like I said to you guys, many of you that are just joining the stream, get yourselves pen and paper, because I'm going to release all those big men politicians' mobile phone to you today, starting all the way from to David Mark, former Senate President, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, Ibrahim Shema, Godwin Obaseki, Ahmed Mohamed Markafi, Ishmael Alkali, Okowa, Bature, even Sheyi Makinde. I will give you his number. You need to start calling them and holding them to account. They are there to serve you and not you serving them. That will be towards the tail end of the stream. Peter Touch, good evening. Yes, so you better get your pen and your paper ready, because that perhaps will be the explosive one. Their numbers. Call them personally. Send them text messages. WhatsApp them. Don't threaten them, but just tell them you want to book appointments to come and see them, because they are your legislators, and you've got the right to book appointment to see them. Let's see how many of them will honor your request. We're still on education. We are still on education. The children of the poor you fail to train will never let your children have peace. Like I said, the spate of kidnappings and banditry all over the country has become the most pertinent and worrisome issue in Nigeria now, and it has fast become an industry for illicit and easy money, taking along with it thousands of innocent Nigerian lives. Thousands. Tolulope Arotile casualty. Pa Fashionoti's daughter casualty. One more? Tell us one more. Deborah, Yakubu, Samuel, casualty. And do they honestly think in their right mind that this is going to die a premature death? It's not going to die a premature death, because today I want to hammer in how they have destroyed your education in the last 23 years. How those Tamboro Bashege Mutumu Banzani hopeless leaders destroyed education. See, my father used to say to me, give a child a good, decent education, and you've given that child food for life. It's the same thing as teach a man how to fish, and you've taught him how to feed himself, if possible, feed the world. Don't just give a man fish to eat for one day. Teach him, show him the way to catch a fish. Your rogue, grotesque politicians. I use the word grotesque. See, they are using that word in Nigeria. Now, I was the first person to describe them as grotesque aspirants. They're now using it. And they're referring to it even on channels news. That no wonder somebody is describing them outside the country as grotesque aspirant. Of course they are grotesque. Of course they are. And there's nothing they can do to me for describing themselves, because I've got the right to my own liberty, to my own freedom. I've got freedom of my own expression, in as much as I will not trample or hamper on anybody else's opinion. Your opinion is your opinion. Tough. Even if you criticize me to my grave, I won't be bothered. I won't be bothered. Let me bring in this one. Let me see if I've got it here. I'll look for it. I know I have it here. I know I've got it here. I know I've got it here. Where is it? Just 1 minute. Robert, no, it's not that one by him. Okay, let me check this one. Sorry, guys. Let me check this live stream one here. It could be here. Okay, it is not either. Then it could. Let me check pending files. Yes, it is under pending. So let me go back into pending. I saw it. Pending. Yes. Yes. I'm going to bring this in. And I want you to please listen to this. And this will buttress that argument. Because this gentleman, based on the same ASU strike, listen to what this experienced man had to say. And this will buttress that argument that many of those shithole leaders, Gamboroba leaders, deliberately destroyed the educational system in that country. Now, in my previous stream, I did outline it will take a minimum of about 15 to 20 years to destroy the educational system of any nation. You heard, 15 to 20 years, approximately. Minimum 15, maximum 20 years to destroy the educational system of any nation. And once the educational system of any country is destroyed, within that period, 15 to 20 years, that country can never make it, because that is a whole generation destroyed. That is how long it takes government to train a whole generation to prepare them for the future. 15 to 20 years. Many of you did not follow the trend when I streamed and I showcased the case of a child that was born in 1990. We probably will see you. I'll probably show you that once again. Watch this.
To see ASU as evil, but in real sense, ASU are sent. These are people who love Nigeria and said we are not going to abandon this country to go and look for greener pasture. We will fight to make the university system better. State fund was created by ASU.
State funds.
When they set up ASU as a strike under Babangida, I am a victim of the academic crisis. I studied law for 9 years instead of 5 years. I received 4 good years of donation. But any time, any day you want me, I will stand with ASU, because they have been able to explain their agitation for me, and I understood that Nigerian government is killing the goose that is laying the golden egg. Babangida said,
did you hear that?
He negotiated with them and signed an agreement. He said he has no money.
He has no money. Babangida had.
And ASU said, well,
Babangida had no money to educate. Did you hear that? No money. Babangida said he had no money in his time to educate Nigerian children. But they had money to embezzle. They had $1 on each barrel of crude oil extracted in Nigeria every day that goes into their individual pocket. And during the same time, Nigeria was lifting at least a minimum of about 1.5 million barrels of crude oil every day. No money. You can clearly hear that. Let's listen.
But we have an idea of how we can raise this money to fund education, tertiary education. And government said, okay, go and bring it.
Listen to that.
Went and drafted the Education Trust Fund Decree, which charged the profit of every company 1% into that trust fund.
Just listen to this.
When Babangida left and Abacha came in, when the decree was brought to Abacha and they were on strike, he saw it as an exit. So he told us to know, if you know how to give your money and this is the decree, bring the decrees. He signed it. Education Trust Fund was established.
You see that?
In less than 6 months, because they thought nothing was going to happen. So if it failed, ASU should blame itself. In 6 months, 75 billion accrued into the account.
75 billion.
Government realized that it was a gold mine, and they called for the decree again.
Listen.
And amended and included themselves. To cut the long story short, from 1999 till date, the National Assembly has balkanized the decree. They have removed ASU. They have removed the trustee. They have taken over the whole thing. Money is accruing into the trust fund. None of the initial trustees recommended by ASU is part of it. So if you have taken over the initiative that is providing the money to service education and you are not doing it, you want ASU to be celebrating. ASU has a good cause. Nigerians should support ASU and force the government to relinquish that fund to the initial concept drafted, containing the decree drafted by ASU. You consider it as nothing. The idea has given birth to something lucrative. You annex it now, they are sharing money there. And then starting education. And you want the lecturers to go and sit there because they love the country. So they should go and continue to produce something. Look, strike will continue in Nigerian tertiary institutions except government honestly do justice to us, relinquish the third fund and revert it back to the earlier agreement signed. Because that agreement provides that after every 4 years, you will review the package of the agreement. Because life is dynamic. So the prices of goods will not be stable. So the end allowance will have to be reviewed. The other allowance will have to be reviewed. The provision of research grant will have to be reviewed. The provision of money for equipping of the laboratories will have to be reviewed. This is what ASU is asking for. So what is wrong in what they're asking for? Or are you saying that it is criminal to be patriotic? Their colleagues have left. The ones that are remaining are the ones who love Nigeria, who said they will not go anywhere. I sat with one of the lecturers. When he finished explaining his predicament, I shed tears. His colleagues have gone out and they are living very well in Canada. He's asked me a question. Solomon, I said, sir. He said, will he be fair to Nigeria? Having gone through this same university which he's teaching as a student, everything was available for him. He was eating free. You
see that?
Cleaning his thing. You are providing everything for him, with even allowances. For him to be a lecturer, and then in the same university.
That was bursary. That was bursary.
The students are paying money, yet there are nothing for them, no materials to train them with. He said, will he be fair to this country? That is the person we are calling a criminal now, that is going on strike. So I stand with ASU strike.
Now, you can clearly see that all them dumper robbers, they aren't interested in any education. I once told you this story. I don't know why. And I'm going to quote my lecturer once again in book publishing practice. A man by the name of Charles McGregor. For almost 40 years, I repeat, for almost 40 years, Charles McGregor was the managing director of Evans Publishing in Ibadan. Did you hear this? Yeah, this was in one of my presentation, in one of my assignment for Charles McGregor in book publishing practice. And in book publishing, very intensive, because the degree that I went through encompasses communications, which mass communication journalism falls under. And then we've got newspaper and magazine publishing practice. We had book publishing practice. We had printing technology. We had computer science. We had quality management. And then we had other smaller courses as well that were wrapped up, but very intensive. And guess what? Because it was assignment upon assignment upon assignment upon assignment in every module. Electronic publishing too, because during my period, you see, electronic publishing was just emerging. I saw the technology that was involved in CD-ROM first came into being. And we were talking about the first Encounter 95, Microsoft Encounter 95, then followed by many other libraries that were buried into just one single ROM, one single CD-ROM. Encyclopedia Britannica and the rest of them, because we used all this emerging technology as at that time in 1995. And in the same 1995, 96, 97 that I graduated, all the technology that is emerging now was already down that period. They were just at the point of being released each and every year. In one of my book publishing practice assignments, to which there was a presentation with it, Charles McGregor made it known to me that this was a personal thing between himself and Obasanjo when he was a military junta. And I will tell you exactly what happened in 1997. In 1996, when I did that assignment. And after my presentation, question time, to which I took many of the questions, and that was the moment Charles McGregor made it known equally to me and those that were present in my presentation, because everyone wants to listen to me. Because it was like Frank Bello was the star of everywhere, because before anything, I mean, I had a very good, solid education. Charles made it known that in 1978 he approached Obasanjo to buy Macmillan's publishing. He had the money. Macmillan's publishing were thinking of selling their publishing business to a Nigerian and then move their operations out. To the extent that Charles even suggested that not only should Obasanjo buy Macmillan's in Nigeria, he should endeavor to buy Macmillan's in Nigeria and the rest of the world. That's why I said it is very difficult for many of these people to come over and challenge me. These were not written down. If Obasanjo had the interest of the Nigerian children, Macmillan was one of the multinational publishing conglomerate that was educating the Nigerian children as well as Evans. Despite the fact that Charles McGregor was the managing director of Evans in Ibadan, he advised in 1978 Obasanjo to buy Macmillan's. The reply Charles got was he wasn't interested in educating Nigerian children. That sent a cold goose pimples into Charles McGregor. And that was the day, a white man, that was the day Charles said to me, he will never respect black people except few that are not really screwed up. Now, in 1997, Evans Publishing, the same advice Charles gave to Obasanjo in 1978, Evans were selling their operations as well in Nigeria because many of them were moving out. So what Charles was already in England. What Charles then did was that he then called Otumba Kunle Ojora to buy Evans Publishing. God bless Otumba Kunle Ojora. God bless you, sir. God bless you, Chief. Otumba Kunle Ojora looked at the proposal, and unlike Olusegun Obasanjo, who was not interested in educating the Nigerian children, Otumba Kunle Ojora bought Evans on the advice of Charles McGregor. And in 1997, after my graduation, Charles wanted me to take up a position as a commissioning editor at Evans Publishing in Ibadan. Abacha was ruling as at that time. And because I was a critic, it was very, very, very terrible. Apart from the fact that the salary was not that good to me. To Nigerian standard, yes. The managing director of Evans Publishing here in the UK, that happens to be the main operations of Evans worldwide. I met with the chap at Baker Street, a white guy. Otumba Kunle Ojora's son was the overall head of the entire operations around the whole world. They promised me a big home, gardener, 2 gardeners, 2 cooks, 2 companies' car, because I'll be in Nigeria working as an expatriate. They cannot afford to fly a white man to take up that position. But they were looking for somebody of my own caliber, and I was the perfect fit, perfect match. Because I've got the right degree, I've got the right qualification, I've got the best lecturers in the world. But the salary was not right. I wasn't bothered about the car, the house, the cook, everything. I've got a family to maintain. My children, my children, as at that time, they were still they were still children. That means if I have to leave my wife and the kids behind, that means I will have to be remitting money through my own money being paid here, because obviously I will have to pay everything. So I will have to maintain home here and then maintain a temporary home in Nigeria, because it involves that, yes, I'll be in and out of Nigeria constantly, coming over to England for corporate functions and the rest of it. They needed someone that would be able to talk to local people, local authors, that Evans can produce books in a language that the Nigerian children will understand. And all this training, I've been through it. The only person perhaps that was able to do the job, but he was doing his PhD as at that time, was a guy that I know of very well called Tosin Awolalu. But Tosin, the differences between Tosin Awolalu and myself was that Tosin does not have access to England, but they needed an expatriate with a British nationality, and they needed a Nigerian. You see the problem? That's why many of our children educated here are now being recruited. That was why Kemi Olaoshu was recruited. And the same hopeless politicians created a mess for Kemi Adeosun. Yeah, Kemi Adeosun as finance minister. Kemi Adeosun should have done a good job. But who messed up Kemi Adeosun at the end of the day? Ibekunle Amosun. All of them never interested. Yes, Alaji Aremu Alakufo Oshuolade Ibadan. Evans in Ibadan. Tobaya, very soon, people will say, oh, the British are the problems of Nigeria. The British, the white people, are not your problem. You are the root cause of your own problem. The black race are the root cause of their own problem. Check out the Queen's speech and hear what the Queen had to say through his son, Prince Charles. The Queen is worried about the level of poverty and people that are struggling in this country. She's worried. So it is now left to politicians to take actions, because if the head of state, Her Majesty, is worried, they will have to take action. Are your own leaders, are they worried? They are not bothered. The British that molded Nigeria wanted a module like the United Kingdom. And for your information, if you don't know, let me break the camel's back. Just like Oxford is the center of learning in the United Kingdom, Oxford, the center of learning in the entire United Kingdom, Ibadan is supposed to be the center of learning for the whole Nigeria. The brain box of learning activities. Ibadan was created as a mini Oxford. Lagos was created as a mini financial center for Africa that many of you don't know. And Harare, Zimbabwe, was meant to be the food basket of Africa and perhaps the rest of the world. Hence, the reasons there was one of the Heinz manufacturing plant was sited at Zimbabwe in Harare. So most of the baked beans, salad, vegetable salad, and Heinz products, salad cream, ketchup that you consume in Nigeria those days, they all came from Harare. And the Heinz manufacturing plant in Halston in the UK caters for Europe. Many of you don't know many secrets. They had plans. The British plans, the 369, was meant to work good for the benefit of Location 9. But you have greedy bastards as leaders. Ibadan, I repeat, Ibadan was meant to be the nerve center of intellectual abilities. That was why all publishing operations in Nigeria were all stationed in Ibadan. Evans, headquarters in Nigeria, Ibadan. Macmillan, Ibadan. Fagbamigbe publisher, Ibadan. These are local indigenous publishers. Onibon Oje publishers, Ibadan. All of them in Ibadan. As intellectual materials, educational intellectual materials, as they leave Ibadan, they come straight to Oxford, and as they leave Oxford, straight to Ibadan. At some point in time, during Chief Obafemi Awolowo's period as Premier of the Western Region, University College Ibadan was the second best teaching hospital within the Commonwealth realms. Saudi royals, they don't even come over to University College London. They come over to University College Ibadan, UCI, for treatments. Because we had some of the finest doctors and surgeons. Again, that is why medicine, Ibadan is noted for it. Pharmacy, Ibadan, University of Ibadan is noted for it. Dental surgery, Ibadan is noted for it. It's been distributed. And when you talk about architecture, Ahmadu Bello University, yes. And you want to talk about business administration, economics, University of Lagos. And for the arts, University of Ife, to which Chief Obafemi Awolowo established. The arts. Because Ile-Ife is an artistic area full of history that encapsulate everything Oduduwa. But these moronic leaders, they all know that the Yorubas are so powerful and so endowed intellectually, academically, that they feel threatened. So they had no options other than to do what? Destroy education. It's not easy here. The same way they've destroyed our education in the West, you can clearly see how bastardized their own children up north are. Imagine how they've bastardized our educational system. I think the last time I played them, let me see if I can probably show you this once again. Let me see. I'm going to load this up for you. It's loading. Yeah, I think the system will probably, yeah, because the system is loading, it will freeze for some time. Yes, I think I am back. And I think right now I need to go into the MP4 files. You saw the guy that actually went up to that primary school in Kogi State. Okay, you saw the guy that was gobsmacked about the shanty well, not even if it is shanty, I'll say yes, it is still good, but this time it is not even shanty. I'm trying to find that clip. Sorry guys, I know it is somewhere here. I know it is somewhere here. Okay, it is not in there. Maybe it is in this one. Let me see. Okay, it is not in this one either. Yeah, I want to show you. It could be in pending as well. Those students who graduated. Students who graduated, but they don't know the full meaning of WAEC. They don't know the full meaning of JAMB. And yes, okay, I got it. So let me bring it in. That's pending videos. Okay, pending. Yes, I think it is here. I'm in the folder. Now, guys, this is very troublesome. It's very worrisome because I was in primary 3 those days. Primary 3. You see, just like it is just exactly like some children you'll see today. Some babies, in fact, not children, babies. I've watched a video clip of a baby who is not up to 2 years, perhaps a year and a half. I saw this video clip, but I never bothered to grab it. 1.5-year-old baby reciting off head the 36 states and capital. My second daughter equally came with such a brain. So it wasn't new. It wasn't new to me. When my second daughter and the mom and the first one, when they arrived, Mayowa was recite. In fact, all my siblings, they like to call Mayowa to one corner and then say, Mayowa, state and capital. And she will start. Straight. It's everything. Smart brain. So I was gobsmacked. Exactly the same age as Mayowa reciting the state and capital of head. Although that was in a nursery, because before she came, she's been sent to nursery anyway, even as at that period. Now, check this out and see the damage this moronic elements that marooned themselves as your leaders, as your politicians, to which you want to die, and you don't know that they've destroyed your children's future. They've been doing this since 1999. Watch this.
Admission no easy. I swear. So now before you get admission, you go write WAEC, write JAM. They call that maybe NECO, abi? What be JAM?
Like a normal exam, yes.
What be full meaning of JAM? The full meaning of JAM, like wetin?
Joint, admitted,
What?
These are graduates.
Hey! I hear me to need back me. You say?
Joint Administration Communication Center.
You see that?
JAM, like wetin?
Joint Accommodation Modification
You see that?
Board.
Will you keep quiet? Now wetin you write before you get admission? JAM, unko.
Joint Admission and Matriculation Council.
Jesus! Research you! What about WAEC?
WAEC, West African Standards Council.
You see that?
Not too much. What is WAEC?
Western African Examination Center.
You see that?
What is WAEC?
West African West Africa examination, no, West Africa examination certificate.
You see that?
What is WAEC?
West African Examination Commission.
You see that? You see that?
For yourself. What is the full meaning of WAEC?
West Africa Commission exam.
You don't know why it's going on.
What do you mean WAEC?
Why?
Yeah, now.
Why the exam that you write to enter university?
I mean the full meaning of WAEC.
Why?
You see that?
I don't know, man.
No, this is very shameful.
Spell WAEC, spell WAEC.
Why is WECE?
You see that?
Jesus is...
Look at that.
You say...
WECE.
The JAM is what?
That is joint
You see that?
administration board matriculation.
Now this one they say no Greek school.
Exactly. What is WAEC?
You see,
Yes.
this is
Like the full meaning of WAEC is West African so-called.
Run, go. Do where? Why are you wrong? Why are you wrong? WAEC is what?
you look at private university.
I'm feeling you. WAEC is what?
Okay, West African Senior Secondary School Examination.
I don't know, be telling you this since I finished my secondary school.
Oh. What is the full meaning of JAM?
Joint Administration Matriculation Board.
What?
Joint Administration Matriculation Board.
You see? What a shame. What a
Joint
calamity.
Administration Matriculation Board.
What of JAM?
JAM, JAMB.
So what is the full meaning of JAM?
Joint Joint Administrative Matriculation Board.
You mean this way you talk?
Yes.
Banana brain.
You know it's not easy to get admission, right?
It's not easy at all.
You will write your WAEC, you will write your JAM. Abi?
Yes, now.
Spell WAEC. W-A-E-C. What is WAEC?
WAEC is an examination,
The full meaning of WAEC.
world examination. The full meaning of WAEC.
You were not informed too. Eh?
Continue. That is the caliber of the graduates. Those are the future of Nigeria. nǹkan tí wọ́n bá béèrè lọ́wọ́ ọmọ tó wà ní primary 1 tó yẹ kó máa answer proficiently. This day and age, with what the internet and smart, in my own time when I was going through education, in fact right up to my last period, 1997, at the higher institution of learning, there was no, look, I was telling someone that there was no internet. One assignment, you can use up to about 10 different authors to gain an insight, knowledge. And then I will have to write with my pen as I was researching. And then at the end of it, I will then get in front of the computer, right at the library, book my time at the library. Normally we are only allowed maximum of 2 hours per student, so that other students too. And then I will then word process. It wasn't a turning affairs. Word process everything. Some of us that are publishing students, we were very lucky because then we've gained insight and knowledge into many of the page makeup applications, such as Quark Express, such as Page Maker, now InDesign. And we can plan everything and then output, bind, and then submit the deadline. But with computer now, a 5-year-old can have access to Google, and you just see a 5-year-old. Ask any 5-year-old any question. They're right in front of Google. But they don't know. With even the advent and the emergence of the information superhighway, those period, Bill Clinton was was the president in the United States. Tony Blair was our prime minister in the UK. They were both singing from the same hymn sheet. Information highway, information superhighway. That's exactly where we are. And they don't know the meaning of West African Examinations Council. They don't know the full meaning of Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board. In my time, primary 3, in science, I learned that light travels in a straight line in science. We had social studies, science, maths, art craft, home economics in my primary school. Each and every term, we've got a report card. First term, second term, third term. So that your parents can be able to assess, and the school will know exactly your strengths and your weaknesses, your performances in your first term. If in second term you are down, so that your parents can buckle up, your parents will know exactly where you need help. Because in your first term, you are expected to perform better. Because your parents will be telling you, ṣé ọmọ kankan ló first nínú class ni, ọmọ kankan ló second ni, ọmọ kankan ló third ni. Second term, they expect you to get better. Third term, in your promotional examination to the next class, they're even expecting more from you. And in my time, the calendar years was from January to December, before it was later changed. Light travels in a straight line. I was taught in primary school, primary 3. When I got into secondary school and I started to study science, physics, chemistry, and biology, in physics, that was when I developed more my curiosity in the science. And optics then remained one of my favorite topics in physics. Then followed by electricity and magnetism, and then thirdly by mechanics, and then waves, motion, and sound. Light travels in a straight line. When I got to secondary school, Form 3, that was when I saw the calculations and everything, especially in optics. In Form 3, many of the definitions you have to cram, because in examinations they will ask you for the 2 laws of reflections or the 2 laws of refractions of light. The incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal all lie in the same plane. The angle of incident is equal to the angle of reflection. Those 2 laws. I came into London College of Printing and I saw the practical application in the transmission of light. The practical application. And how I can use the same light to produce vibrations, to produce dots, electronic dots of varying sizes, to create optical illusion. Light energy converted into electrical signal. Solid education. Thank God for the likes of Pa Awolowo, who gave me that opportunity for that sound education. That's why I'm able to even compete, and I'm even better off than many of my white folks on the same degree. I remember there was a time, another of my lecturer who took us in he took us in quantities and specifications. Yes, Dr. Bob Thompson took us in quantities and specifications. The baddest of any printing stock materials. Stock is what is referred to in the printing industry as papers that we print on. I remember that day. See, in my days, I was one of the baddest in my course, but I was a student leader. And I don't normally sit in the front. Bob Thompson came into the main lecture theater was where we normally took lessons from Dr. Bob Thompson, because it was the combination of publishing management students and the printing management students. Bob Thompson came into the main lecture theater and then said, "Somebody please give me the name of an acid." The whole class, the whole lecture theater, silent. Again, Bob Thompson, "I need someone to please give me the name of an acid." Nobody. And at the stroke of the 3rd time, Bob Thompson requested for the name of an acid. Not only, I never gave Bob Thompson the name of those acid. I was given Dr. Bob Thompson the chemical formulas of those acid. H2SO4. Bob Thompson said, "Yes." Is that Frank? I said, "Yes." "Yes, sulfuric acid." Next. Then I said, "HCl." He said, "Yes, hydrochloric acid." Next. HNO3. "Oh, yes, nitric acid." Have I only got Frank below in this class? Solid. From secondary school, back in Nigeria, when the late sage invested in education, education, education. And they don't want me to be mad for destroying education and destroying the lives of those children who don't know what WAEC or JAMB simply means. No wonder I watched another clip. A guy who graduated with a BSc honors in civil engineering, my own father's profession, that I was even groomed, I was meant to tread, but I refused because I wanted to pursue the literary field. They don't know what BSc, the abbreviation BSc, they don't know what it means. And they graduated with an honors degree in civil engineering. That is the damage they've done to education. Those bastards. Delibelo, thank you. That is the damage. And that is why I will continue to curse all these buffoons. Yes. They're all shithole. Baba T. Yeah, you can see the brand has changed. For those of you who are still coming in, episode 172 of our usual series, hashtag The Bleeding Edge, is exactly what we are treating today. And you can clearly see that the brand has changed. It's now Numedia TV. Yeah, I've got a brand out there for it. I'm gonna change YouTube Baba T later on after this stream. I've done similar for Facebook. Steve Osagie, good evening. Good evening. You're welcome to the stream. Episode 172 of The Bleeding Edge is exactly what we are treating today. Let's quickly go on a break. Yes, you are welcome back. You are welcome back if you are just joining us. Yes, we welcome you into episode 172 of The Bleeding Edge. James Coker. James Coker, you are absolutely right. Education is now in the hands of pastors and imams. Absolutely spot on. Absolutely. They won't come to this place. They won't go to David Hamilton to get information that will broaden their horizon, refresh their memories, and then equip them for the future so that they know exactly what is happening from the other parts of the world to which we are privileged, that they cannot see. See? And that is part of the reasons why they've plunged that shithole country and that shithole continent into darkness. That's one of the reasons. You see, when you have the likes of, let me bring in this one. When you have the likes of this, woman, this one, I think it is under this one. I saw it there. When you have the likes of this woman, see, this video is the type of that video that you will make sense with it, that this caliber of people, they're ready to sell and mortgage the future of their own children. Watch this.
Tinubu ní Ìbàdàn, Ọ̀yọ́ state, Tinubu lá Ògùn state, Tinubu everywhere, Tinubu àwọn táwọn ọmọ Igbo Biafra tẹ̀ ń sọ yẹn. Ẹ bá mọ àwọn sàwọn tó jẹ́ Tinubu náà ti tó lẹ́bùn Tinubu gan. Pé nǹkan tí bàbá yẹn bá sọ àwọn máa tẹ̀lé lẹ́yìn. Àwọn Haúsá gan wọ́n ní kí ló ṣubú táwọn. Ẹ̀rọ àwọn Haúsá tó ti ń lọ tẹ̀lé, tó ti ń wọ lọ́lé. Tí ìró wọn àti Bùkọ́lá Sàràkí ibẹ̀ ní kẹ́ jókòó sí. Gbogbo àwọn tọ́jọ́ sáìnì communicate pé Yorùbá ló kàn. Gbogbo wọn náà máa dìde. Everybody ló máa dìde this time around. So wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé Yorùbá ló kàn náà. Ṣé Àtíkù gan mọ̀ pé Yorùbá ló kàn? Àtíkù báwo? Àtíkù gan mọ̀ pé Yorùbá ló kàn. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé kò kàn rárá. Kò ta ló máa ta Àtíkù. Àtíkù ò lè jẹ president. Ìgbà wọn ti kọjá, èjì wọn ti kọjá. Egi tí ó bá rẹ̀ tí náà lè lò wọ́n. Táìmù wọn ti kọjá. Tinubu ò dẹ̀ sọ fún yín pé òun fẹ́ jẹ president. Tí ó sọ fún yín ni. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹni tó bá na owó ẹ̀ sókè rè ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ pé léyìí máa lẹ́jọ́ kọjá ọmọ onílẹ̀ ni o. Akọrin fáwọn èèyàn akọ̀ tún bílà fún un. Ọmọ kan bíi 1 million. Tinubu tí ò tí jáde kò jáde rárá kò lè ti fẹ́ kúlẹ̀ dínkù yìí ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe campaign orí burúkú wọ́n ti ń fún yín lówó ẹ̀yin náà ti ń gbowó ẹ̀yìn ẹ ti ń ṣe ẹ ti fi ń bọ ọmọ ìlà kejì ń jẹ ẹ ti ń ṣe kinní kan Tinubu ọmọ Ràgbìjì ni Tinubu ọmọ Ògbó ni Tinubu ọmọ Èkìtì ni Tinubu ọmọ táǹgọ̀dù ẹ̀ tí ìsọpọ̀ ọmọ Ghana ni àbí tí mi ṣọ́ ọmọ Ghana ni Tinubu bí Yorùbá náà ni gbogbo kí la wá ń sọ ọmọ Èkìtì ni ọmọ Ràgbìjì ni ọmọ kinní kan ni ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ kan ni ẹlẹ́yọ̀ kan ju ìlọ ẹni kí ló fi dì mí lẹ́ni ṣebí díẹ̀ náà ni díẹ̀ yẹn kọ́ ṣeṣe bùdànù èyí tẹ̀ ní political structures tẹ̀ fún yàn jẹ èyí ṣọ́pẹ̀ lò èyí tẹ̀ fún yàn nìkan jẹ tó jẹ́ tara yín nìkan lẹ mọ̀ ẹ̀yin leader tí èyàn lè fi sọ pé leader ní tí àwọn èèyàn tara yín jáde ẹ̀yin tó jẹ́ ara àfẹ̀mí.
Now, you see, is politics about chop alone? I'm just asking. Now, you see this kind of person, I'm sorry, these are the caliber of people that are so difficult within the Yoruba race to get the necessary knowledge and equipment that will empower them. Now, let me bring in the Western world. The Western world. And in 1970, well, in those days in Nigeria, in the 70s and the 80s, the media was so powerful that there was no electronic media and people cannot make videos. So the likes of us, especially those of us from a very privileged background, that we had access to information. Yes, I thank God I had a father that was highly educated and reading time for free, reading Reader's Digest, reading Newsweek, reading all the papers, even the Financial Times. Was privileged to know exactly what is happening at what point in time. I was privileged. I knew the friction between Leonid Brezhnev in America and the US counterpart. I knew many of those fracas from west to east. Now, what caliber of information do you think this person will have or will be disseminated out to this caliber of person that will empower that person? Because now you can clearly see this person demonstrated, and he demonstrated me Tinubu was chop. Does politics in Nigeria has to be relayed or be played on chop? Awolowo never played politics of chop. Yes, you heard. If you were not born then in 1979, I voted for UPN, for Jakonde in Lagos. And for Jakonde to get my vote, it was the UPN under the leadership of the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo. And money never exchanged hands in 1979. UPN never bribed anybody. Shagari never bribed, MPN never bribed anyone. The elections were fought on a plain field of what can they offer. People's Redemption Party under Malam Aminu Kano never bribed. Great Nigerian People's Party under Waziri Ibrahim, Waziri Ibrahim never bribed. Waziri Ibrahim, the late Waziri Ibrahim, even bragged that Tombani kohun te owo lati Maiduguri de Eko for him to lay pieces of money from Maiduguri to Lagos. He will lay it on the floor. There was no agbero or ballot snatching in 1979 elections. No ballot snatching in 1979. There was none. We all voted for our conscience based on our political affiliations. I was not scared to go up to the polling booth to cast my vote for the UPN. Now, the same thing I did, Bola Tinubu did. Bola Tinubu saw it in 1979. So how come this motherfuckers cannot, I repeat, all these buffoons, moronic leaders cannot build on the events of the past. That in 23 years of uninterrupted democracy, all what we were getting, things we never got in 1979, things we never got in Abacha's period, we're now having to get. Let me play you. Listen to this. To tell you exactly where your problems lie. Your problems lie. Let me play you this. Let me see. I think I have it on the... Yeah, I think I know where this one is straight away. It is under MP. No, not here. Export files. And Abacha. I think it should be here. I think it should be here. Yes. Listen to this.
Consequently, the following decisions come into immediate effect. The interim national government is hereby dissolved. The national and state assemblies are also dissolved. The state executive councils are dissolved. The brigade commanders are to take over from the governors in their states until administrators are appointed. Where there are no brigade commanders, the commissioners of police in the states are to take over. All local governments stand dissolved. The directors of personnel are to take over the administration of the local governments until administrators are appointed. The National Electoral Commission is hereby dissolved.
Neck.
All former secretaries to federal ministries are to hand over to their director generals until ministers are appointed. The two political parties are hereby dissolved. All processions, political meetings, and associations of any type in any part of the country are hereby banned. Any consultative committee, by whatever name called, is hereby proscribed. Decree 61 of 1993 is hereby abrogated. A provisional ruling council is hereby established. It will comprise the head of state, commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as chairman, the chief of general staff as vice chairman, the honorable minister of defense, the chief of defense staff, service chiefs, the inspector general of police, the attorney general and minister of justice, the internal affairs minister, the foreign affairs minister, and the national security advisor. Legislative powers will reside in the council. States will be governed by civilian administrators to be appointed later. Also a federal executive council.
That was Sani Abacha. And that was the beginning of Abiola's problem. As at that time, I was still fighting them. Even though Nigeria was already in a decapitated state. Let me tell you one gospel truth, and let me break it down. The reasons why they will kill and they will do anything possible to get to the position of being the president. It is because of the $1 on each barrel of crude oil that Gowon created with a peg that goes with the office of being the head of state. And subsequent administrations built upon that. Obasanjo in 1999 increased the dollar barrel to $2 for the office of the president. and the 50 cents that goes with the office of being the Minister of Petroleum was increased to another dollar. I made this known exclusively on Ayogundimu's show a few couple of years ago. Was the first person to tell the whole world. Have they challenged it? They can't. The fake, dodgy latex Muhammadu Buhari in Aso Rock. That's what they're getting. You don't want to know how much Aisha Buhari is worth today. What if? Let's ask ourselves one brilliant question. What if it was Buhari or Obasanjo's daughter or T.Y. Danjuma's daughter killed gruesomely like that? What do you think would have happened to a shithole country called Nigeria? Please, I want to hear from you. Tolulope Arotile was killed. Have you heard anything from that? Perfashionati's daughter killed. Have you heard anything from them? This one killed. Have you heard anything from Shotman Devil Nasiru El Rufai in Kaduna State? How many of the northerners condemned it? The killing of Deborah Samuel Yakubu, the killing of the poor girl. Have you heard anything from Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who wants to contest and be your president? Atiku quickly deleted his own post tweet and everything on Facebook. That means one Nigeria is a fraud. They've destroyed your education. The education that they never gave the fathers of those Alamanjiris that killed Deborah Yakubu Samuel. By Gowon is what everyone is having to pay for. Yes. James Coker, I'm posting your comment. You said it's so funny that your dad was the first person that went to school in his village in Ibadan. He didn't go to college, but built printing press Ibadan. May his soul rest in peace. Yes. Because printing press is technical. It's your warning now. And many of the printers were stationed in Ibadan too. Because there were so many information and documents that people print. Maybe your dad was one of the people that that were actually involved in the letterpress. Because we've got 3 printing processes. We've got letterpress, we've got offset litho, and we've got gravure. Those are the 3 process of printing. Letterpress, you have to assemble all the letters together in blocks. And then you put it on a machine, and then you feed papers, and the machine will then start printing wrong grading for you to get right reading. And offset lithography works with the technology that with the concept that water and oil do not readily mix, to which we have to make negatives. Maybe your dad probably graduated to an offset litho from letterpress. And if your dad does that, then perhaps, as at that time you are talking about, perhaps he probably must have been one of those who must have got code 64 that is capable of printing 4-page up, 4-page backup. That is 8 pages in one signature. I'm talking technically here. Yes and no computers. Sylvanus Sly, you're welcome to the stream. We're treating episode 172 of the usual series, the hashtag, the bleeding edge. That's exactly what we're treating today. I've been on 2 hours and 31 minutes. Don't worry, I'm not going to keep you like Akogun does. Akogun's show, David Hamilton 234, is quite long, and that's why he streamed late at night. Yeah, and no computers. Yes, no computers, because if plates were made those days in offset lithography, that means they have to shoot using a graphic arts camera, to which the copy of what we want to reproduce is placed on a copy holder, and then using the lens formula. You see, your dad must be very, very knowledgeable in physics indirectly. Using the lens formula. Yes, plates. Yes. Using the lens formula, before the plate is made, your dad will have to make copy of what he wants to print on a negative or a positive. But he needs negative first. And for him to erect the original copy onto the copy holder, that means he has to reproduce faithfully the original copy from the copy holder. And then there is a dark room at the other end. And well, as at that time, maybe he must have probably again graduated to some of those computerized copy holders that were later manufactured. But those days, copy holders used to be mounted in one room, and there is the dark room where everywhere is dark. But the safest light that you can probably put in after the copy is being reproduced, that is taken, then is the red light. But you have to use the lens formula, because I worked with those ones. Lens formula in physics: 1 over v plus 1 over u is equal to 1 over f. In many instances, you can determine that u is the object distance and v is the image distance, and then f is the focal point. Many of a time, you have to calculate the focal length. You know the copy, you know the distance. The object, you know the distance. So is the how you are going to set the lens, to which the copy that is mounted on the copy holder will not be underexposed or overexposed. And the moment the negative is made, then there's something we call opaque system, to which blemishes and many of the scratches that you don't want to appear on the plate, you then opaque them with the opaque medium. And from there, you take the negative into another lab to which the plate is made. But before you make the plates, you must have done your imposition, so that, we call that imposition scheme, so that page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, and page 5, 6, 7 will all fall into places. Pagination, in other words. And then you mount the plate onto the press, and then the plate transfers the image onto the blanket, and the blanket transfers the image onto the paper. Yes, and everything is by brain. So James Coker Hats off. Your dad must be one of the few intelligent printers. I've just explained that to you, because I've been through the training. And some people will call themselves journalists, but they don't even know how printing is made. Alhaji Aremu Alakufo Ibadan. He said, can you believe it? Can you believe that no computer, no social internet at the time? Yes. That is why, in my own time, even if it is returning the nation back to its 1963 regional formation and allow Western region to be a country of its own. Yes. Allow Eastern region to be a country of its own. Allow Northern region to be a country of its own. If they should return us back to the 1963 formation, then that means number 9 Northumberland Avenue, the Nigerian government will have to quit, because Chief Obafemi Awolowo used cocoa money in Western region to purchase number 9 Northumberland Avenue, now called Nigeria House. So when we are returned back to, yes, our old regional formation, to which we will have our own premier, Nigeria House will change it to Odua House. Nigeria is a fraud. Big time fraud. And the reason for that? None of those moronic embezzlers called leaders, who call themselves leaders, have interest. They never bothered. All what they are focused on right now is how they will go up there and steal. But I guess what? There won't be any 2023 in Nigeria. There won't be no elections. I tell you exactly what's going to happen, and I've been telling you. The Fulani agenda is going to come to shove. Because the Fulanis right now are bloody scared of all the atrocities that they have unleashed on Westerners and Easterners and the Middle Belt. They know that, oh, should we relinquish this power, we're going to suffer. It does not matter. They know it does not matter whether it is Igbo or Yoruba or Middle Belt. Because this type of stream has opened up the eyes of many people. Dr. Obadiah Mailafia paid the price for it. Nnamdi Kanu nearly paid the price for it. Yes, Sunday Igbo paid the price. Make no mistakes. They are already negotiating. Abuja is already negotiating under a fake, dodgy latex Muhammadu Buhari for Nnamdi Kanu to ditch his agitation and get his freedom. I wouldn't know whether that was the same arrangements with Sunday Igboho. It is only time that will tell. But Nnamdi Kanu told them, no, he's not going to ditch. That is too late. His agitation for the East. They are confused. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Charles Soludo went to visit Nnamdi Kanu. The East are already gearing up. And in 2019, 2023, that means if there is no Igbo presidency, I pray, because there won't be any Igbo presidency. And if there is no Igbo presidency, sure banker. Because the North will not hand over to an Igbo man. It's not going to happen. The North does not trust the Igbo people. They don't trust them. And they don't trust Bola Tinubu either. My predictions, they may probably eliminate or kill Bola Tinubu in the action, in his quest for power. Remember the last time I've been warning you lot. Northerners are about to kill you lot. I said move your stuff if you are a southerner. Move from the north. Since last year, January, I've been warning you of this impending menace coming up now. But because I've been provocative and I've been chunking out this information, there's been delay in their tactics. Now, let's put it this way. What if I am not all that lucky to be one of the lucky beings on the surface of the planet that I came from that privileged background, to which, yes, my father was the one that told me, and this was in the 70s. My father told me in the 70s that Nigeria will definitely fail, because as far as ZAB saw it in 1978, 79, that this is not the way to run a country. That if it is possible for me, I should go back to where I belong. That he doesn't think I belong to this place. That it is 78, 79, not the way they run a country. When Obasanjo can open his eyes, koro like this, and then came out publicly in 1979 to tell the whole world that the best candidate will not win the election. In other words, Chief Obafemi Awolowo will not win the elections. Shagari never wanted to be president. He wanted to go into the Senate. So what kind of respect do you want me to hold for that man? A man that refuses to educate the Nigerian children? Babangida equally refuses to educate the Nigerian children. I played the tape. Listen to it once again because I'm really angry. Let's listen to that tape once again, so that you know exactly how you have destroyed your own life and your children's lives and the generation of those children that are yet unborn. In fact, before I go into that, let me bring in this. Yeah. Remember, the late sage, quote, "The children of the poor you fail to train will never let your children have peace." The only difference, and what the late sage never put, was the fact that those children of the rich will not stay in Nigeria. Many of them are not in Nigeria anyway, because they've looted the treasury and all their children are living a very, very modern, comfortable life. Many of them live in Chelsea Harbour. Are we going to talk about, do you want me to talk about Lai Mohammed, that Mr. Liar, who bought a multi-million-pound mansion in Hendon in the name of his son? Where did Lai Mohammed got that money from? In Hendon, NW9, posh part of London. Hendon, multi-million-pound home bought on his son's name, not his name. They think we don't know? Do they think I am a moron like themselves? No, I'm not. I'm not. Now, look at this. I told you to destroy an educational system in a country, it takes a minimum of 15 years and 20 years, because that's a whole generation. 1999 to 2022, 23 years. Why don't you ask Olusegun Obasanjo what plans did he had in mind for the Nigerian children who are 23 years today? What plans? What were the plans? Let me quickly just I forgot to bring in one particular one. Let me look for it very quickly. Yes. This one. A child that was born 1904-1990 to 1904-2021 became 21 years. 31 years. 3-1. A child born 19th day of the 4th month of April 1990. The same day, 19th day of the 4th month of April 2021, that child will clocked 31 years. When I present you with facts. Facts. Because I don't believe in fiction. Fiction is imaginary. Now, look at this. 1904-1990, date of birth. 1904-2021, that child, full blown, man or woman, 31 years. Now, based on 6524 educational system, 1996, aged 6 years, that child entered primary school. 6524 educational system. Let me go back to that. 6 years of primary school, 5 years of secondary school, 2 years of HSC, higher school certificate and advanced level, and 4 years minimum of, say, engineering, psychology, land surveying, quantity surveying system. So aged 6 years, that child entered primary school. 1996. Aged 13 years, that child is in secondary school in 2003. In 2003, who was at the M of affairs, who came into power in 1999, forced on the throat of Nigeria by Ibrahim Babangida. 2003. 13-year-old child born 1990 in secondary school. Somebody was presiding over the affairs of that state as at that time. Who was that man that was not interested in education? Aged 18 in 2008. That child that was born in 1990, the 4th month of April, and on the 19th day, finished secondary school, aged 18 years in 2008. somebody was still ruling. And somebody was his vice. Somebody was ruling, and somebody was his vice. Between 2009 and 2011, that child, born 1904, 1990, is an HSA, A-level. And by 2012, that same child is now on a 4-year degree program at a uni. 2016, aged 26 years, finished university. 2017, compulsory National Youth Service Corps program, NYSC. Again, another shambolic institution fraudulently created by Yakubu Gowon to strengthen his government on the go on with one Nigeria syndrome. 2018, that child, man or woman, born 19th day of the 4th month of April 1990, in 2018, is already looking for a job, aged 28 years. Let's go back. 2003, aged 13, Obasanjo was in power with Atiku Abubakar. What have they done to prepare this child as a case study for 2018 and today? What has Bola Tinubu done even in Lagos? There are countless of those children born that same 1990, millions of them, that are not marketable. Their educational system completely destroyed. What caliber of children do you expect these children to breed for the world? You've seen exactly what happened in the north. The caliber of Almanjiri children, they continue to breed. Those were the children the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo was referring to as the children of the poor. You fail to educate today will not let your children have peace. I'm angry. I'm terribly angry. I'm not going to answer your comment. Bola, you want to digress. You want to digress the purpose of the stream, but keep commenting. Yep. That's why I am terribly angry. And I'm a wounded lion. I'm wounded. It's not just only Nigeria. It is all over Africa. We're doomed. We're messed up. We've been completely screwed. It's not worth it. Now, they claimed. Let me show you this once again. Let's replay this. This is the same country. the same country. You can as well imagine exactly what they are, in as much as they are killing many of the educational system. They've killed primary school. They've killed secondary school. Let me start with this. I'll play this once again. Watch this once again.
All right. This is 9:09, and this time we expect all pupils of primary school, secondary school, and other institutions should be in their school. Well, my name is Yunusa Gabriel Enemali, and my community report today is coming all the way from LGEA Ukolojogene. Is in the Kina local government, Anyiba ward. Now, I'm going to unveil something that will touch your heart wherever you are. And the reason why we're doing this, we need to bring you up to speed to understand what is happening. Now, come with me. Now, this is primary 1. As I speak with you, it is combined with primary 1 and 2 because their little hut where they stay has primary 2 has been fallen down by a breeze. Look at it there. Now, come back. Now, you can see these are the leaders of tomorrow. Well, according to them, move closer. Let them see their faces. These are supposed to be the leaders of tomorrow. In this community, there is nothing like infrastructure here. No social amenities at all. Now, it is so pathetic. Look at their board. This is their board. Now, I move with him. He comes with me. Come with me. Come with me. Now, this is supposed to be class 2. But today, it's already down. Now, show me the camera. This is supposed to be class 2. This class 2 is now combined with class 1. And that is why you have a mixed class. Now, I am told that they have class 1 to 6. Now, this 1 to 6, you will be extremely shocked with what you're going to hear. They only have 2 teachers, and they are being paid by
Kogi State in 2022.
This teacher cope?
Welcome to Nigeria. Welcome to shithole Nigeria.
Now, the salary being paid him is on the so-called percentage salary. Now, here is primary 3. This primary 3 is also combined with primary 4.
Look at that.
Am I correct? Okay, this is just primary 3.
Kí ni nǹkan táwọn ọmọdé ìfẹ́ kọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run?
Tell me, what leader of tomorrow are you going to make out of this people? As far as they're concerned, nothing like computer that they would have ever seen in their life. Now, come with me. I'm going to show you. Now, as you come this way, this is the class. And this is class 4 and 5. All right, this is class 4 and class 5. Now, you can see the shanty where they stay and they teach them. This is in the Kina local government, in Kogi State, in Nigeria. Now, I'm coming back to tell you what even the Sustainable Development Goal says about education. Now, we need to begin to think very, very well, or else we're going to be in trouble. Now, come with me again. This is class 6. Now, I have this as class 6. Now, tell me, some of them don't even come to school. Why would they come to school? They are not encouraged. The teachers are not encouraged. The parents are not encouraged. Now, getting to this place, I had to use this Okada. It is not motorable. It is actually so difficult. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now, this is it. This is LGEA Ukolojogene in the Kina local government, like I've said before, and this primary school has class 1 to 6. And the number of pupils right now are about 60. Majority of them don't even come to school because they need to follow their parents to the farm. And nobody encourages them, nothing about technology that they have ever seen. No light, no infrastructure, nothing. Now, they only have 2 teachers. The teachers are being paid by State Universal Basic Education Board. They call it SUBED in Lokoja, and their salary is in percentage. This is absolutely absurd. It is uncalled for. Now, the reason why we need to do this as part of our community report, we need you to come to the aid of this community. NGO.
They've got a sitting governor, Yaya Bello. The same is applicable to that one who call himself Bukola Saraki. They are all useless. Let me take your comment. Temitope Tokpa Kalilos Akere. Ṣé Akere ni Abakere? You see, in this world, he said, advocating for a change. Let me post your comment. He said, advocating for a change in Nigeria is a waste of time. Please don't waste our time on Nigeria issue. We're tired of all this advocating and change of theme. My stream, Temitokwe, is not for the faint-hearted, because of the volatility, and it is the quality of the people that monitor, that listen to what I have to say, are the powers that be. I'm being monitored by Westminster, the center of power that hold the keys to unlock Nigeria and dismantle it. I'm being watched by the United Nations. And many of the topics that I have discussed with evidences and with proofs, I'm not just like any other person. They're taking them seriously into actions. I'm not the type that'll hit the social media and just talk. I slammed the powers that be with evidence, statistics, numbers. Yes, you heard. You heard. So, my part to dissolve that contraption called Nigeria is through the legal process, the legal means. The means to which conflict can be resolved amicably without any need to carry arms. What I'm advocating for is a social order, a new, I want to champion a new social order to dismantle, to begin the process to dismantle Nigeria. There has to be a process and procedures in place. Do you know how many times Facebook and YouTube had to delete one of my posts that was extremely gory, despite the fact that I put up a warning that some of the contents may contain extreme graphic violence that some people may find very disturbing. YouTube wasn't really comfortable with those extreme graphics. Fine. But that is the truth. That is exactly what is on ground. And the things that Abuja and all those moronic leaders don't want the world to see is what I am disseminating to the whole world. And that's why I want to champion a new social order. Do you think I'm interested in Nigeria? I'm not interested in Nigeria. You can clearly see behind me. That was their passport I destroyed on fire. I'm not going to leave that because I want to keep reminding them that that country is a shithole. Episode 172 of the hashtag Bleeding Edge is exactly what we are treating today. Get your pens and paper ready, guys, as we are almost coming to the tail end of the stream, whereby I'll be giving you the telephone numbers of all your leaders to call them. Yes, I want to make available to the world all their numbers so that you can call them directly, text them. But before I do that, they killed Deborah Samuel Yakubu. I particularly like exactly what this gentleman said about Islam. Let's listen to it.
Prescribes death for somebody who commits blasphemy against Holy Prophet of Islam, Muhammad, peace be upon him. Is that true? Let's see.
No, it's not true. Islam condemns blasphemy, but there is not a single verse in the Holy Quran that teaches Muslims to punish someone just because he insulted the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Quran teaches us that all prophets were mocked at. It says, and there came not to them a messenger, but they mocked at him. The Quran mentions that the Holy Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, was insulted, but it does not say, punish those people. Rather, Allah said to him, and overlook their annoying talk, and put your trust in Allah. The Muslims are taught in the Holy Quran that if they hear people mocking the signs of God, then they should leave their company and not sit with them until they change the topic. The Quran does not teach to punish them. If we
You hear that?
the life of the Holy Prophet of Islam, Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, we see that he forgave his worst
enemies,
even those who had hurt him and insulted him. The Quran mentions the incident of Abdullah bin Ubay, a man who said that he is the most high and the Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is the most wretched. This was such a great insult that the son of Abdullah came to the Holy Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, and asked permission to kill his father because he felt so insulted at what he had said. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ did not allow this, and Abdullah lived his life in peace until he passed away in the city of Medina. In fact, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, led his funeral prayer. This was how the Prophet himself treated those who insulted him.
Okay, so if Islam does not allow any Muslims to punish anyone who commits blasphemy against Islam or the Prophet of Islam, why is it that so many Muslims believe that blasphemy is punishable by death?
Because some so-called Muslim scholars exploit the issue of blasphemy to control the masses who may not have adequate knowledge of Islam.
To control the masses who may not have adequate knowledge of Islam. The same way that it's in Islam is also in Christianity. Remember, I said that earlier to you. See, the children of the poor you fail to train today will not let your children rest tomorrow. The late Chief Obafemi Awolowo's quote. Indoctrination. Does that mean Bola Tinubu is not even talking? All northern Muslim leaders are not talking. Is it not about time they should start the process of breaking up Nigeria into where each and every one of us belong to? Nigeria is not working. It will never work. It won't work. We've had enough. 62 bloody years of hardship. Enough is enough. There won't be any 2023 in Nigeria. And I'm still repeating that. Fulanis will not hand over power to either Igbo or Yorubas because they know they will suffer. There is the possibility of a Boko Haram ISWAP coup that is on the horizon. You will think it is the normal coup that we're used to in those days. No. There is the possibility as well that interim national government will be drafted in. And if an interim national government is drafted in, the same ISWAP Boko Haram coup will still come into effect. Make no mistakes. I warned Bola Tinubu at least since 2015. I sent messages to him to start fighting for the Yoruba cause. Get your pen and paper ready. If you're ready, I'll give it to you. This is 2022 Special National Convention Organizing Committee. 2022 Special National Convention Organizing Committee. And this is their directory of committee leadership. Their name, their position, and their phone number. Senator Dr. David Mark, GCON, Chairman. Telephone number 080, let me start all over again, 0803 500 8888. Right Honorable Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, Deputy Chairman, 0803 312 9554. Barrister Ibrahim Shima, Secretary, 0805 115 5004. Adeyemi AA, Administrative Secretary, 0806 293 7700. Finance Committee, Godwin Obaseki, Chairman, 0803 308 0644. Ahmed Mohammed Markafi, Deputy Chairman of the Finance Committee, 0803 408 0235. Honorable Daniel Woyeguikoro, Secretary, 0803 676 9449. Alhaji Ishmael Alkali, Administrative Secretary, 0706 499 3299. Accreditation Committee, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, Chairman, 0909 901 2345. Right Honorable Amadu Umar Fintiri, Deputy Chairman, Accreditation Committee, 0803 336 5129. Honorable Umaru M. Bature, Secretary, Accreditation Committee, 0813 474 1884. Jafaru Sadiku, Administrative Secretary of Accreditation, 0803 713 8222. Yes. The next one I'm going to go into is security. Let's see. I hope you guys are taking note. Anyway, you can always rewatch the broadcast. Now, let's go into security. Security Committee, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, Chairman, 0805 153 7577. IGP Solomon Araze, Deputy Chairman, 0803 717 4527. Brigadier General A.H. Said, retired, Secretary, Security Committee, 0803 320 8891. Alaji Yarima Husseini, Administrative Secretary, 0803 304 1857. Electoral Committee, Senator Dr. David Mack, Chairman, 0803 500 8888, like we've done upward. Senator Diri Duoye, Deputy Chairman, 0803 666 8698. Ibrahim Shema, Secretary, 0805 118 5004. And yeah. And then, still on that, Alaji Sani Adamu Yawuri, Administrative Secretary, 0803 618 1700. Chinedu Nwachuku, Administrative Secretary, 0701 019 8845. Adeyemi AA, Administrative Secretary, 0806 293 7700. And in the next podcast, in episode 173, I shall release Publicity, Venue and Protocol, Welfare and Entertainment Committee, Transportation Committee, Accommodation Committee, Medical Committee, Special Duties Committee, Secretariat Committee, Administrative Secretary Committee. These are your legislators. Send them messages. Text them. Don't abuse them. Be polite to them. Text them to demand for equity and justice. I don't know what to say to that, but I won't say I know there's no discrimination here, but then again, hey, okay, guys, let's bring the stream to an end. And on this note, I like to say a very big thank you for all of you that joined me on this important stream, episode 172 of the hashtag The Bleeding Edge. We're going to do it again. At some point in time. You can clearly see that Liberty Media Communications now is Do Media TV, and it is the same on YouTube. Click following, because Facebook, they've disabled everything that we've been doing. They don't want the gospel to get get out. In the next issue, next episode of The Bleeding Edge, we are going to release more of those names and their telephone numbers to you. Call them, text them, messages. Demand why they continue to kill us, and they're silent on the issue. Demand for equity and justice. Demand for accountability. And until next time, take extra care of yourselves, and I'll see you as God will protect us. New week is fast approaching. Have a nice, great week, and we'll do it again. Thank you for watching the show. God bless you, and good night.